Hello, and thank you once again for tuning in. Today we are going to discuss contouring. Something that you have been hearing so much about, it's everywhere, more than ever. But contouring and highlighting has been around for so very long. Going back to the 1920s with silent films and the black and white films, when a lot of the makeup artists back then were literally detailing the features and the face of the actual actors and actresses, because all it was black and white filming. They did not have color. Color didn't come into movies until the 50s. So that meant they had to actually accentuate the features and bring life, as they would state, life to the camera, life to the film rather, when it came to the actors and actresses. So in that saying, today we're going to take the time to do a couple of different types of contouring, one with powder and one with cream. A lot of people ask questions about, okay, what's the difference and does it work? How will it work? Do I have to be a certain skin type to use it? No, you don't. If your skin is on the oilier side, powder may be a better choice. It's not to ever say you have to do just a powder. It's just to say it may be a better choice because your natural oils will surface and it can make things maybe a little bit difficult for you if you're using cream. If you are normal skin, dry, dehydrated skin per se, meaning your skin, it gets very dry very easily, I would suggest to go with cream. That right there will still give you a beautiful effect, but at the same time, it will not dry out the skin. Because do remember, powder on some skin tones, such as dry skin or dehydrated skin, very, very mature skin, it can cause some problems to the skin. So, in saying that, I will say that for anyone, you can use whatever you choose to use. I'm not a stickler on you do it this way, you do it that way. You have to do it the way that you feel the most comfortable. And some people that do have oily skin, like myself, still like to use creams. So that's not a problem. It's just knowing how to work it into your skin and how to blend. Blending, 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 blending. I can't say it and stress it enough. It is so important. So just remember, that is the overall biggest part that you will have to do. Blend everything so it looks subtle. It looks beautiful. It does not look as if you're in a circus. And that's the thing that you don't want. You want it all to look cohesive and very beautiful. So we're going to start today by using a powder from Contour and Highlighting Powder from Wet n Wild. Now there's different types of contour and highlighting powders. L'Oreal has one, Maybelline has one, you have Rimmel has one, you have, Milani has one, a little bit of everyone. NYX has one. If you're talking about more of the department stores, of course, Lancome, Shiseido, Clinique, Estee, everyone has one. There's not one makeup line that's out here today does not have some form of a contouring and highlighting powder. But today, for this, we're going to use the Wet n Wild. Now, if you notice, with the Wet n Wild, we have one side here that's very yellowish in tone. That's going to be your highlighter. This palette works beautiful for in and everyone's skin tone. There's two different types. This one right here is more of a warmer tone. This works beautifully with minority skin, and when I say minority skin, I mean Latina, I mean African, African American, I mean Asian skin. It can be very beautiful. It does not matter, but this warmer tone tends to pick up, and it doesn't pick up ashy, because the truffle color here, kind of like a caramel color really, this right here is going to be your contour. This is what you start with. You don't want something that's going to pick up on you an ashy tone. That will not work. As I said, there's two different types of colors, and yes, Caucasian skin can still use this too, because again, it's all based on how deep you want the look. So let's begin. You definitely want to get started in doing something like this with a contour brush. If you are a beginner and you've never ever done this before, it's all in the brush. You can't just pick up your fingers or pick up a sponge and do something like this if you've never done it before. So when in doubt, pick up a contour brush and utilize it. So, in doing this, this will actually be the brush that we will use for the contour. A regular powder blush brush is all you really need for your highlighter. I don't suggest a bigger brush, meaning a powder brush, because I believe it's a little bit too big and you might get too much product all over areas that you don't want. So start small. So let's begin. Now, we're going to take maybe 1 or 2 strokes here, not a lot. And if you feel it's too much, tap and tissue off. It's always the best thing to do. I'm going to come on this side and I'm going to put this in the hollows part of the cheeks. Now, for anyone who do not have higher cheekbones and you're trying to really grab that look and really get a beautiful finished look with this on that level and you just don't know where you place it, your placement is here. Let that contour brush be your guide. It's right there. If you feel that you have to do a little bit of sucking in the cheeks, if you feel you have to, then you can do that. It's not a problem. But you should always make sure this gets into the hollow of the cheekbone and blend, blend, blend. That is the key word here, blend. Take this all the way up. The temple area, right in the temple, you're going to place that again, right at the temple, right in here. A little bit away from the extended part of your brow. You want to take that in here and you want to literally build. You tap into it. This creates, again, a very beautiful look in here. Now, I'm going to take a little bit more. You're going to go around the forehead by the hairline area. This is where you want to go, right in here. So take this around. You do not want to put this nowhere close to your brow area. This is the area in which you're going to want to highlight. So you want to keep this about right in here. It gives a very beautiful effect and look. And again, in doing this, this is going to be on the skin that has already been cleansed and been moisturized. You put a primer on to begin. You can do the contouring first if you would like, or you can do the rest of your makeup application first and then bring down the features. It's absolutely, totally up to you. There's absolutely no particular way of doing it. It's all by choice, whatever you choose. It's just doing it the right way. Now, as you can see, this already creates a beautiful look in here. And you can do more. You can always do more. Right in here, you can come in all the way in here. Bring this here. And that's going to give you even more of a look. You come back with your powder brush. Take some of the yellow. Take some of that off. And that's the highlighter part. You can take off. You can work from the Kleenex area. So for whatever you've already tapped off, you can still utilize that. I like to go up underneath the eye all the way, the high apples of the cheekbone, to actually start. So, up under the eye, I bring down. Up under the eye, bring down. This works beautifully, beautifully when you want to, again, bring forth the eyes, bring that level of your cheekbones, heighten that look. That can be a very beautiful look. So you can take this, go all the way, all the way. From that point, you're going to take a little bit more of the powder, and you can therefore go into this area here. As I said, the other side of my face, I'm going to do a cream. So I'm just going to go ahead with the powder right here so you can get the idea. So we're going to do that right in here. We're going to highlight. I'm going to take a skinnier brush. With this kind of brush, doesn't really matter what brush you use. It can be a flatter brush, so therefore you can take this, come down the bridge of your nose, right in here. Just bring that down. And this is how I'm going to do it, bridge of the nose, right in here. And I'm going to still take this blush brush, blend that. Again, we're going to blend. Everything is blending. And you see how it highlights right in there on the bridge of the nose. I'm going to come back again. I'm going to take that same little flat brush here, take off excess, right in here, right in that area of underneath the nostril area, right in there with the lip area. Sometimes people say the cupid bow area of the mouth, or the lips rather, which is fine. Again, it's giving a nice highlight. Take a little bit right in here. Angle yourself either way you want to. It can be in here, it can be in here. This is just giving the highlights that you want, bringing certain things forth. And again, keep blending. Everybody is different. Certain areas on the face, if you want to highlight, you can. As I said, there's not one way of doing it the wrong way. The wrong way of doing it is not blending in. That's the wrong way of doing it. You take this, you come with, here's another. This is a flatter, bigger brush. Now this is actually going to go in and contour the nostril area. And something like this you're going to take, bring it down. Bring it down. And you're going to go in. And you're going to bring this all the way. I like to go all the way in to show you. I even take this and go into the crease part of the eye, like such, because it's flat and it can get all the way in here. And it goes without saying. You can have the most beautifulest look with doing something like this. Maybe you're not a person that want to do a lot of makeup, but you want to have a really beautiful chisel look. This will give that look to you. Fan it out. So you see, this side of the face, and I'm going to turn all the way. You're going to see the difference already with how this looks. Has a really beautiful look. You see the cheekbones hiding. You see a very beautiful contoured look. It's elegant, it's very beautiful, it's not too much, and that's the whole idea. Doing it where you feel you're comfortable. If you want to kick it up a little bit more, by all means, kick it up, but at least you know the right areas to do this. I'm going to show you one other little trick. You take that little flat brush, again, a little bit of the highlighting powder, and go a little bit up underneath. Even the hollow part. So you're going to go underneath the hollow part. Circle it around. Now when you want to really give yourself a very high defined cheekbone, this is how you do it. And you take your powder brush and you blend downwards. And you see that. Look how that just brought the cheekbones all the way up. This is when you really want to heighten those bones all the way up. You really want to give this a beautiful look. And that gives you an exquisite look. And again, anyone can create this look. Anyone can achieve this look. It's not about you having the cheekbones or you don't. You just have to know how to play with it. So we're going to flip and we're going to do the other side. Other side, it's going to be a cream is what I'm going to use. And this is the Selma Hayek line, the nuance line. This is a fabulous line as well because this one is a cream bronzer highlighting contouring kit. And as I said, we're going to do this a little bit different than what we did with the Wet n Wild highlighting contour powder. I'm going to use 2 sponges, as you can see. I'm also going to use a flat brush. Some will say it's a flat concealer brush. You can say an actual foundation brush. It's whatever you want to say, but it does need to be flat for applying the cream highlighter. Sometimes there are those that like to even take the blush brush and also apply the cream. That's totally up to you. There's a stifle brush that you can use, those kind of things too, totally fine. It's all up to you. I just like to have a little bit more control and I like to use the flat foundation brush more than any. So let's begin. As you can see, same kind of concept as the Wet n Wild contour and highlighting. The cream is going to be, of course, your contour. It's darker. So you definitely want to go with something a lot warmer when you want to get that look that I just showed you on the left side. On the right side here, we're going to do nothing but the cream. The lighter area here is going to be the lighter highlight. So let's get started. So with this, I am going to, since I'm not going to use a contour brush, I'm going to use the sponge. Now, 2 things you can do. I do want to stop and say this. For anyone and everyone, you can use a Q-tip to actually draw on the cheekbone, the actual area that you want right in here. You can draw that. You can put that right in here. Totally up to you. all the way. But for me, since I've been doing this for a long time, I'm going to use the sponge. I'm going to fold it in half. If it's a round sponge, if it was a square angular sponge, it would be even better. But today I don't have that type of sponge. I'm going to use this. So I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to actually take a little bit here, like this. And then I'm going to go right into the area of the cheekbone, and you can see right there exactly how it's going. And I'm going to blend. Come inwards, come out. Bring it in inwards again. I'm actually circling the cheekbone a little bit here when I bring it in this way. I'm creating, I'm carving out, whatever you want to call it. This is what I'm doing. Add more. Temple area, no different than what we did on the other side. We're going to go not too close to the extended part of the brow bone or the brow itself, but we're going to go right here on the temples. This is it. And you're going to feel and see me moving this up all the way around that hairline part. This is what we're doing, and we're blending. As I said with the cream, you have to blend. Blending, blending, blending is the key with cream to make sure that you really get the look that you want, and it's not too reddish in tone, and it does not look awkward. So you get that in there really good. Doesn't matter how many times you do this. I tell everyone, doesn't really matter. You just want to make sure you get this going in here. Take this. Go in. And any areas that you see, this is where the Q-tip or the sponge can come in. And you see how soft that looks. It's a very soft finish. And again, this is all the way around. I have met up with the powder end of the contouring around the forehead part here. And again, I'm doing this where it's not overdone. This is something that looks very soft, but yet you see the bone structures and everything has been chiseled out. A really good look on that. So, as I said, I'm going to take this brush here, the foundation brush, with the mirror down. I'm going to take a good amount of this. See if this picks up really good here. And apply a little pressure if you want to that. About like that, you should see that. Take it, and again, around the eye area. Now this is going to create more of a dewier look to your skin, which is beautiful, a very beautiful look. And again, this is for those individuals that really want a very wet, dewy look to the skin. This will definitely give it to you. As I said, you can do this underneath the eye. You can do this on top of your concealer. If you want to go all the way up underneath that eye, you can. Or if you just want to stop it at the high part of the cheekbones, it's totally up to you. But you go back in and you blend. Everything blend. You can blend this together. Now where this is a little bit different than the other side, if you were to take a little bit of that cream and go in here, the way that I did with the powder, the lighter powder in here, it may give you more of a wet look here, and that might not be something you want to do. So you surely can take that powder and go up underneath here to still give that look like this side if you want to do that. So I'm going to show you that. So therefore, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. Same thing, the little brush, SS off, take it, and you're going to go away and up underneath the contour part or the actual hollows of the cheekbone. You go underneath. You're not going to go into the hollows of the cheekbone like you did with the darker contour powder, and you're going to blend. This is it. You're just going to blend. And again with this, you're going to blend outwards. Now I'm going to take the cream. I'm going to use this sponge. I would say you can do a little bit of the Q-tip if you have it with it. I'm going to take this sponge and go into the sides of the nostril area, the nose area, like I did with the powder. I'm going to go in on the side here, all the way down, like I did, as you can see, with the cream. Go all the way down the nose. And any blending that you need to do, blend on out. Take this. Make sure you don't interfere when I came down the bridge of the nose with the highlighter powder. I'm going to just do this part here. Now I'm going to take that foundation brush, another little trick. And this time around, I'm going to go and take a little bit of that cream contour on the flat end of this brush, and I'm going to contour the eye area like you've seen me do with the powder with the actual contour brush, the flathead brush. This one, I'm going to use this brush to do the exact same thing in the eye part, as you can see. And I'm going right into my crease with this whole look. So I'm going to contour myself in this way with the cream, and with this brush being stiff. And you definitely want a stiff brush. You don't want a brush that's loose and flat, because what I just did, I gave myself contour with the eye the same way that I did with the powder. So you can still do these things. You can still do the contouring with the cream. You can do the contouring with the powder. Now, last thing that I will show, and I think this is something that you definitely want to look at. Let's just say if you feel you've done too much, and maybe it's just too much for you. You're not quite really looking at this as a look that you want to step out with. Maybe you feel it's just too bold too soon. Nothing to it. Very fine. You're going to come back then with either a mattifier, like the one from Wet n Wild, or you can come with a Prep Set and Go from Milani. That's another one. Or you can come with a loose high definition powder from e.l.f. And this means loose powder. You can actually utilize this, all the powders that I just showed you, and you can take down some of the excess. Maybe you just don't want it to look too much. So what I'm going to just use is, of course, the Wet n Wild translucent mattifying powder. I'm going to take the bigger blush brush, you can say, or you can say powder brush. Go over it, take some, close that, take a little bit off of here, and let's say I'm just going to soften the look. Now, I softened this look around in here, if you feel it's too much. Now, if we want to go even further, let's contour the jawline, shall we? With this, same exact thing applies. If we're using powder, we're going to use a contour brush. We don't do the highlighting around the jawline because I've already shown a little bit of highlighting right in here. So I'm going to take a little of this down here. Again, take off any excess. And we're going to start from the back of the ear. Follow your jawline, or create the jawline. And this is how you want to do it. Let this contour in. You can also bring this up underneath to really bring out the bone structures here, to really create the bone structures. And if you were taking pictures or in theater or what have you, you would be able to take this contour powder all the way down the neck. So as you can see, you can do this. It creates a beautiful look on this side. If you want to even create a little bit more of a cleft to your chin, you can do so. So I would say you can take a little bit of that same brush right in here. Take a little bit of the sponge, blend out. As you can see, gave a cleft to the chin. So, same exact thing would go for the other side with the cream. You can use with that one, sponge. Take a little bit, again. Same thing. You go here, and you're going to follow your jawline. Go up underneath. Remember, behind the ear, this is where you want to go to get this started. For those that you're like, okay, I can't find that, you would go up underneath the ear and create that whole look. And that's going to give you a very strong, beautiful looking jawline the way that you would want. And with the cream, you can actually achieve that look even more. Now, as you can see with this look all together, you see the cream gives you a dewier look here. Beautiful finish, beautiful look. The powder gives a very beautiful look as well. These looks can be achieved, as I said, on anyone. Does not matter your race, does not matter your age. Anyone can do this. It's just about taking the time to understand positioning of the brushes that you're going to use. If you are a person that can do this with your eyes closed and you don't need brushes and all you can do is use the sponges and your fingers, by all means do so. But remember, whatever you do, you only have one chance to make the first impression. Thank you.